Hi, welcome to Homestead. Today we're going to be going over some of the stuff that we're doing currently on our little half acre, and some of our fails from this last 6 months, and then some of our successes. These are our 2.5-week-old quail. They're about to get moved outside. So we're hatching out about, on average, we have a 60% hatch rate currently, and that's all we really need. But we do want a bigger incubator to throw more eggs in there with that low hatch rate. Our incubator just never turns off. We have it running 24/7. Granted, it's not a big incubator, but we have it running all the time. You see there's 2 American breast chicken eggs in there. I just built this watering thing for my water to go on top of. Put a flat piece of wood. I put a pallet in there originally, but they kept getting under here and laying eggs, the quail did. So this is something that I just built. As you can see, all that grass and everything keeps getting in there and making it all icky and gross. And they haven't got sick or anything from it, but we'd rather put it up there to keep it more clean, because I did a test run, but they were all laying eggs under it. So far my quail little quail farm operation is probably one of the most successful things I have on my homestead. I'm always having my incubator running constantly 24/7, and I sell them to 2 grocery stores currently. So I keep my meat chickens currently. They're only like 3 weeks old and they're already bigger than my quail. They're 5 weeks, they'll be fully grown, butcher ready. But yeah, these meat birds, they be eating all my quail food. I'm in here constantly refilling it now. But yeah, my quail, probably most successful. Oh, that's the one with mating just now. I get about 14 eggs a day on the average, and yeah, I just can't keep. I barely eat any of my own eggs because they just go out of stock. I have this in here for when I put new baby chicks in. I'll slide this up closer to the wall, and I'll put their feeder and stuff in here, so the rest of the birds can't really get in there and bother them. This is kind of like their safe space for the baby quail. There's Ugly Duckling. I don't know how that bird is still alive, but raised him from a baby. It's probably one of my biggest birds too. Time to refill their food daily now because of these meat birds. They just eat and eat and eat. Something I've been mowing my lawn this morning. So I take my grass clippings, and they love playing the grass clip. The chickens love them, the quail love them. So if you're not using them on your garden, use your grass clipping for your animals. So one of my biggest fails was my corn this year. And this is bloody butcher corn. And the reason it failed is because the soil was low in calcium, calcium, phosphate, and potassium, and it's just crazy. I worked so hard on this corn, and then I think I went through I had a week where I had to leave, and I just sadly that week it was so hot out, it just killed all my corn. So this is like what real homesteading is like for someone that's small like I am. You're gonna probably want to get your soil tested, and I got my soil tested. I'll show you guys the results of that, but I'm gonna tear all this out and yeah, have some nice space to mow my lawn again. So I learned what's wrong with my soil. I took it down, and it was only $6 to get it tested, which blew my mind. This is something that everybody should do, is get their soil tested. This is an unfertilized piece of corn. None of the threads ever got out, so it just died, and now it's all moldy. So I'm going to be doing a different video on how to get fertilizer that's the proper fertilizer. I have learned so much about fertilizer, and I'm going to be doing a separate video on that. Corn that didn't get fertilized super well. Ow! Stupid ants. Great. I'm allergic to ants.
Yeah, a lot of my tomatoes had problems this year because of low calcium, but a little trick is putting Tums by the tomatoes.
Okay, time to go get shoes on. I'm getting bit.
Yeah, so if you go down and figure out an extension, that's the key word, an extension to get your soil tested.
I hate them.
They will test your soil, and it's through the Department of Agriculture because you pay taxes, and it should be dirt cheap, and it's really in depth.
Already breaking out hives and everything. Great.
So this is all the corn that I got that I felt like was viable, and we'll try again next year.
The thing I planted this year was sweet potatoes. I just had some that I didn't eat, and I threw them out here, and surprisingly, seems like they're doing okay. So we'll see how that turns out. Another thing was grapes this year. I just put a bunch of grass clippings on this to cool it down a bit, but yeah, the weeds were gonna get to it. So my grapes did not do good this year. We'll see if they make them through the winter. But I got a lot of people telling me, yeah, grapes don't do good the first year, it's the second year. So we will see if I can get them to get bigger, stronger, and hopefully this is a success on this old clothesline. Second thing that really struggled this year was my honeybees. Hoping they make a recuperation or recovery, but they didn't do good. So this is the hive that's really struggling right now, and that's a split that was made out of that hive. And this year was an interesting year, so I put a feeder in there in that little front hole, and that front hole, the ants figured out and ate pretty much everything in the whole hive, destroyed the hive, and so the bees left, they swarmed. And I was like, okay, I understand that. So made another split, and I put a new queen in there. They killed their queen, so they're really struggling. And I've dumped a couple bees in there a couple times, but both hives currently don't have queens because the other hive keeps trying to swarm this blue hive, and then the other hive just keeps killing their queens. They both, I don't know what's going on. It's just been a weird year. A lot of beekeepers I've talked to is like, oh yeah, my bees just want to swarm. I definitely suggest having two hives. So this is a queen cell I stuck in the other hive, hoping that it hatches, and then they take that queen and that they live because they're dummies right now, and they're really pissing me off. So all through here is a watermelon patch. And we only have one watermelon. It's the weirdest shape.
it looks like a squash, not even a watermelon. And it looks like it's about ready to harvest. So this is my squash patch that I currently have. And I've harvested about 3 acorn squash out of there. And I only planted with 3. I got 3 acorn squash from the store, and I planted the seeds into my garden. So it's pretty much buy one, get one free, because I haven't got anything else off these. But they do look like they're producing more, so that's why I left them. The butternut squash, though, this plant was huge, and I tore it all back, and it was probably 6 feet by like 6 feet in every direction. But I tore it all back because I only got 1 butternut squash off it, and it's coming back. So hopefully maybe that signals something in the plant to, hey, and we need to grow. My cucumbers completely died this year. Also doing terrible. There's a dead eaten cucumber in there. And then, so something I learned recently with okra is that you should only leave the top 3 to 4 leaves on the plant. And I learned this yesterday. So this is my one okra plant, but this is his garden, and he's probably collected like 5 bags worth of okra off these plants. It's crazy how much okra he has. So today I'm picking off the leaves and seeing how much of a difference it makes on my plant. That's really we've only harvested 1 okra off of it. It was good. We ate it, but it was kind of disappointing. So this encourages growth upward because they won't grow okra down. They only keep growing okra up. So next thing is my tomatoes. My tomatoes have done decent this year. We've gotten like 6-7 tomatoes off of them, and we just got them from the grocery store and scraped some seeds out of the ones that we didn't eat in time, and then 2 of them we got from a buddy. So it's, it was kind of disappointing, but I've noticed ever since I started putting grass clippings on everything, my garden's been exploding. So I definitely suggest, if you're mowing your grass, use your grass clippings. Then I got all these really cool breed of onions I planted in there and all this other cool stuff, and it all died. Another thing that I feel like has been a big success this year has been my chickens. I haven't lost any of my chickens. They're all growing. I love my little American breast chickens. My other ones, they're okay. They haven't started laying yet, but yeah, they're amazing.
That's my female. That's Sir William. Yeah.
is my old popcorn patch. I got a decent amount of popcorn, but I definitely will get a lot more next year after I fix my soil. I'm looking to build a bigger flock. I'm actually going to take my American breast mama, soon to be, and let her hatch out her own chicks, and I'll just put her out in the yard, and she'll be out there with her own little feeder, and I'm hoping she gets real broody, and yeah, I just want for her to be in the incubator because might as well let life do its thing. So after feeding my chickens, I went to go show you guys the fig trees and how they're doing. So this tree and that tree were planted at the same time, and this one's finally coming back and growing good, like green leaves. So what I've been starting to do is put my grass clippings and a little bit of fertilizer around this tree, and this tree's made a really good comeback recently. But they both looked like this a bit ago. They had figs on them that were growing. They were getting big. Like, it was doing good. But it was the difference between that one and that one. I put fertilizer in there. I was like, oh man, I hope I don't put like, nitrogen burn it. But I was like, it's a chance I'll take. And this one exploded and that one didn't. So now I know. Yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, subscribe to grow my channel. I keep giving you guys this content, telling you guys what I have learned through my experience of just, talking to different homesteaders and seeing what they're doing. And the other thing is I definitely suggest 2 beehives. So if you one beehive is failing or something, or they swarm, they all leave, you can make a split out of that. You can have another hive. You get a hive to pull from. So that's what I've learned. And if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will respond to every single one of them.